old, man. That y'all do the same shit over and over, just like to fuck with people. Because we talking shit about the game, which you're not doing. You're not doing in the game. You're not fixing the shit. That's a problem that people complain about. You fix the shit.
Don't watch me look. Your maw's about to get a little
I think
unladylike.
the L-Star is overpowered because I got killed by
I accept the challenge.
I think that R99 needs to be nerfed. It was that a controller that
Take out
killed
some
me?
fools and be
I
back
think
in
that
time for
needs to
dinner.
be
Got pork
nerfed.
chops tonight.
The controller has an advantage on us. I feel like the mouse has an advantage on us.
This is
Y'all
your
need to make
champion.
only the damn right button.
Stream Elements. Ruffins 1 is now live. Streaming Apex Legends. Just me.
Make only the right click and then left click. They can't have extra buttons on their mouse. They gotta be
Just a thought, we
disabled.
could land here.
Where? Where did you say? Okay, good.
Decoy. Wait. No, I'm not a decoy.
Attention. First blood.
I got a hooligan over here.
Round one. Beginning ring countdown.
Great. Already inside the ring. Bam goes the boozle. I need energy
Downstairs.
ammo.
Oh my god, he hit me one time and I failed. It's crazy. He hit me one time.
The gods have decided.
They gotta be hacking. He hit me one time and I died.
Check out over there. Let's grab that gun. At least we can.
Watch that bloodhound.
Making contact here. Hostile right here, right in front of me.
Fuck you, stop, man. I don't gun. I don't have gun.
There's one right here.
What are you saying? Oh my god.
I need shotgun ammo.
Yeah, that bloodhound is shooting. He got 441 damage. Everybody else on his team got 40 and 90.
I need it.
But 10 and 99.
Thanks.
Where was that accent from? Was that Korean or Japanese? Chinese? Anya Sayo?
Warning. In progress.
Here, level 2.
Party invitation. No thanks. This is gonna be my last match. Cause I'm telling you, this these Asian Respawn developers in music.
The important thing is not to die. Ha ha ha!
Paul music.
Come on, little meaty. We've got work to do.
What kind of music are we playing?
Valkyrie extending to re-engage.
No, I just saw your name was Paul Music, so I thought you was a
Introducing your champion.
I have music in my mind.
Ah, that's the best way to do it in your mind.
Man, I didn't get here alone. Man, I defeated a lot of people to get here.
Here we go! Hang tight!
I thought I was playing on a London server.
Gee, it's the only way to travel.
3 teams.
Peach. Oh my god. There's the loot.
I'm getting shot!
Oh shit.
Don't shoot!
Oops.
There's a lot going on across the way. Drop one of them.
Enemy downed.
Alright, let's do this thing.
Still down. He's running back and forth right now. I was hoping to hit somebody. All I got is this longbow and a 45.
It's really one shot this man. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Incoming grenade!
Coming.
Reloading.
What the heck? There's a guy here? There's a camper in the corner.
Bye.
You saw that camper just sitting there hiding. Oh my goodness. Hiding. Egypt. 42, right? 42. It started off good in this server, y'all. It started off real good. But I'll just go quit for the night because I think it's because I'm tired too. But I really think that's the Japanese developers they got in there. I'm gonna say that to about everybody. Hey, what's up, Roxas? Rock sexy. Rock sexy. That's pretty good. I almost says like I'm sick. I'm sick. God, exit. I'm not. Try to be. But if I'm so sexy, chat in my thing and send more people. No, I know that. That's a fake account that somebody creates to make people follow FRW33D. And Frito, New York City. Is free. Frito be playing basketball. Okay? Crystal. Vicky. Let me see. We'll get this. Can we get in a video sometime today? Good Lord. Dead by daylight. That game is so nostalgic. That's Amos who play that to me. It's no action to me. I don't get that. I get it, but that's like 1980s format, you know what I mean? It's like, it's no, what's the say? What's the word I'm looking? No action, I know that. It's action, but it's just, too basic and stuff like that. And I play games that got a lot going on in it, and the graphics and stuff like that. It's good graphics, but a kid could have put that game together. You know what I mean? And so, let's just say you didn't have all the graphics. It's almost pretty much saying it's tag. You're playing tag. So all you gotta do is run around and find people and then touch them, and then go to base and touch a flag or something like that, and it's no real skills. That's what it is. No real skill level to that game, and that's why it's a good. It could be a good, relaxing game away from the stuff that takes a little sense to play. You know what I mean? A little IQ that takes no IQ. Get what I mean? I guess that's why most of the people are playing it, because they try to get away from the frustration that they're getting from some of these games that take a little IQ. It ain't how accurate you are and how good you can shoot and shit. You just gotta be more accurate and consistent at it and stuff. And that's what I thought of getting, but Respawn keep changing the game so much you can never be consistent at it. I'm not gonna play this game 24 hours a day and shit. I want to play it like every other day or every day if I can, for a few minutes or an hour or 30 minutes or something, but I shouldn't have to play it for 10 hours for a week and then you take one break. They could be changing something along as you go. You know what I mean? Because that's what these little small updates are. That's what these little small gameplays that they throw in. Every time they throw a new gameplay in or a new skin, they throw in something in to change stuff that these pros sit in these little meetings with them that's on the payroll. Like Lulu, she's on payroll. And she almost exposed, like talking on that, like, oh, I can't talk about the gameplay pretty much. But they're not saying that they get the game early like all other casual players. Like for Call of Duty, they release a beta. Everybody has a chance to play the beta if you purchase a game or something to that extent. Or they just say download by this day or send in your email. So everybody has a chance. But not Respawn. They said, no, we only gonna give it to our people that we know is gonna, that's on our payroll, and it's only gonna speak highly of the game. This is why the game is sucking, because they know they're on the payroll, so they can't really speak their mind. And then the people that speak their mind, you're not listening to us. We're not on payroll. So we don't give a damn if you don't like our comments. You get what I'm saying? We really don't care. And shit like that. We just want to have a better game like it used to be when it first came out. It used to be a decent game. Once I actually start getting better, I'm like, oh yeah, my accuracy going up. I'm getting more consistent with this weapon. Next season come up, oh, take the weapon away, or change the recoil on it, or change how long it takes to reload it, or change how long it takes to switch from one weapon to another. Y'all change it, and you show it in the notes also. So that's the dumbness, that you are changing the way the game plays. Like, go look at anybody else updates on all the other games, like Call of Duty, and look at their notes and see if they say, okay, now we make the M16 shoot instead of the what you call it, damn, I forgot what you call it, the automatic shooting, instead of it going every half a second, now it goes every second to be automatic. But you get what I'm saying. They don't put that in the notes. They don't change things because y'all have so-called pro players. But they don't have no pro players in Call of Duty. Their pro players don't complain about how the game plays. They complain about hackers because they don't change nothing in the game because of the pro players that's actually there to promote the game and play the game professionally. Don't go in there and bitch and say, you know what? You should make the machine gun shoot a lot faster, or you should make the shotgun reload a lot quicker or a lot slower because it's unfair that he killed me and I'm a pro player. You get what I'm saying? This is what we're going through with y'all. None of the other games, nobody goes through that. Not even when Ninja was the first one that was in this stream world Twitch on Fortnite, and shit was complaining about, oh, this weapon shoots too slow, or I don't like the way people can get away from me and build quicker than me. I don't like that wall. We need to change it where you have less seconds to build the wall, which they did change some shit on the building part, but they never took away the shooting, never took away the aiming. Everything stayed the same. So if you learned how to move your mouse or your controller around, you will be consistent on shooting. You will be consistent on aiming. Only thing they changed was the building, because some people was getting outrageous with the building. I mean, they was like building so quick, so they had to fix some things because there was a lot of like mouses being built and keyboards being built to be able to do multiple things by hitting. Like I have this Logitech keyboard up here. Oh, it's a Corsair. I got these G1 buttons. If you know what a G1 button is, you can program those G buttons to do multiple key presses at one time. So that's what a lot of people was doing with their G buttons in Fortnite to build quicker. So if they wanted to build a 4x4 or whatever you call it, a square or build a wall all the way around, they would just hit that G1 and it would automatically do it. If you wanted to build a ramp, you had certain keys you could press and you can program your stuff for that. But then if you wanted a 3 stack, they could do a G2 or G3 real quick. Or if you wanted to aim down and shoot and reload at the same time, you could do that with these G1 buttons and stuff. So is that cheating? Can I do that actually on my controller? No, but some of these keyboards, these keyboard and mouse players are not telling you that they have their capabilities on certain keyboards. Because it's a whole separate program for Corsair to program those G1 buttons. Even Logitech has it. And stuff, so that could be cheating and stuff. They probably hitting G1 to go side to side when they get in a gunfight. To go side to side like 5 or 6 times. So now all they got to do is move their mouse and aim with the actual the weapon with their mouse while it's automatically going side to side numerous unlimited amount of time until you press another button to make it stop. But somebody needs to look into that if y'all really want to get deep into it and figure out who's the one cheating in the controller, because y'all done made the actual ADS on this damn thing horrible now. It's not even an ADS. It's almost like a so what does ADS stand for? It says automatic something sight or whatever. So it's actually an automatic make your sight horrible. It's not actually helping you or assisting you anymore. It's actually pulling you away from the target now. You get what I mean? It's like locking on outside of them or above them. It shouldn't lock on above them. If it's actually a aim assist, it should help me assist aiming at the target. So I should be able to hit the target every time and shit, but you should be able to come off of it. Now when aim assist comes in, it locks to that place. So if I aim to the left of them before I start shooting, which I like to do, I don't like to use the aim assist like straight on because most of the people are going side to side. So I aim outside of them and then kind of drag it into them. But now you lock it in that place. So I can't even move it unless I pull off the trigger. If I pull off the aim, what is it called? Look down the sight. Until I pull off the sight, then I can control my gun again. It locks there. That's what you're doing. You're locking it away from them. Or the recoil in the R99. And I know I'm not tripping or crazy. I done worked on that recoil for months in the damn firing range and shit, and it didn't raise that much. I remember you had to pull down and a little bit to the left and shit, down and to the left, down, left down and stuff like that. The best way to say it. Now you have to pull down the whole time that you're shooting it. And if you just pull down that quick way like we used to, down and to the left and go back to the center, you fix that little recoil that it had at the beginning, because it would just go up slightly about 2 or 3 inches. Now the thing, if you pull down and put it back in the middle, it goes way up in the air. I mean, way above them. And shit, but it only does it in the game. It doesn't do it in the firing range. So y'all need to fix the firing range where it reflects the way we play in the game. So what the hell you got a firing range for if it's not really a firing range to practice your aim on how the game plays? You get what I'm saying? So it makes no sense. Or even if you have somebody come in there with a 1v1, have a friend come in there, it's still not the same as the gameplay. So then you make it go in like you in a server or something, like, oh, we're waiting on 90 people to get in. Dude, it's just me trying to go in the firing range. I should be able to click the firing range and go directly in it. But you know why y'all do that? Because y'all are playing God. Y'all are in every room that we go to. We shouldn't have to wait till you get ready to put us in a room. That room should be separate away from everything that's done on the server. It shouldn't be no server gameplay in there. Shouldn't be part of the server. That should be off the internet. So I should be able to click firing range and go directly in it. But I'm telling y'all so worried about critiquing and watching people play and say, how can we fix this? How can we fix this? Sitting back, drinking a cup of coffee or tea, whatever the fuck y'all do while y'all sitting here watching us play in our games, but that's an invasion of privacy. They don't even let Facebook and all these people. They've been complaining about that shit. So you shouldn't be in everybody's game as they play. That's not, unless they give you permission in the settings. Which you have a question in there. Say, do you want to share your gameplay and shit with the Respawn people or EA? And I say hell no. So since mine says hell no, but the way you did it, you wrote it almost like a lawyer said, like, yeah, you can answer this yes or no, even though no, we will only look at it a little. You know what I mean? We're not gonna look at it all the way. We're just gonna look at it. So who's to know you're not looking at it the whole fucking time, fucking up our game? Because that puts latency and a strain on it with other things happening on our gameplay. If you're actually sitting in there fucking with our game. Get the fuck out of the way. Just make the game, put the shit in it, and sit back and enjoy your fucking fruits of your labor, man. Stop joining in the games and playing in the games. Y'all shouldn't even be in the games. You should be back there saying, fucking, I'm rich, bitch. You know what I mean? That's what you should do. Just enjoy that shit. Fix it and sit the fuck back and stop listening to these crybabies. I'm not a crybaby. I'm just complaining about what the crybabies are fucking up the game where we can't have fun in the game no more. We can't even just have a good time and casually play it because they take it so seriously. They take it so serious. Like, I'm a pro player, and I don't like this. Well, fucker, go get a pro job. You know what I mean? Go get a pro, like, NBA player. NBA player, he can complain to the ref, but you see what the ref do him. The ref tell him to sit his ass down or I'm going to give you a tech. That's what you should be doing to pro players. Like, shut the fuck up or you going to get fired. I'm going to replace you with somebody that ain't going to complain this much. That's what pro players do. Or we trade you to another team. You don't remember that? You watch basketball or football when they start complaining about, I don't like the way the gameplay is, I'm going to stop going to practice or whatever. They don't go to practice, you get fined. Or you get dropped. That's what you should do. Stop listening to that. Pro player don't go up there and say, hey, you know what? I don't like the jerseys. Y'all need to change the jersey. That ain't his fucking job. His job is to play the damn game. That's what the pro player's job is, to play the damn game. You need to change the rules. And then have a whole separate team that critiques the game and say what is missing and what is not missing. Not the actual players. Not the pro players. If they gonna be those type people, they shouldn't even be playing the damn game because they get the advantages of knowing what's coming or playing the game before that or knowing what's happening. That's why the Astros had the World Series taken away, because they knew what was about to happen by their plays, how they was gonna pitch it. That's cheating. That's what y'all doing to us and shit. And then we go in here and play against some of these pro players and be like, fuck, how is he that damn good? How is he already that good in the new season? How does he already have all those outfits, and how does he have this and that? That is crazy. That is a disadvantage. That is cheating. Like, I guarantee you the reason why the hacks got so fucking out of control, why your pros are not accidentally leaking shit anymore, is because the hacks were given to y'all pro players to give them an advantage over everybody else. So they can look like pro players and they can be happy with the game and speak highly of the game. And I guarantee you, your pro players were the first ones that start sharing it with their friends, or they accidentally got stole from them and got out there into the real industry. Because I don't think nobody sits here all day and figures out ways to hack this one game because they're not getting any money out of it if they get caught cheating. But pro players do. So what would a company do to get him an advantage? Oh, we gonna tell you what the other team plays or how what he's about to pitch next. That's what you're doing. Y'all have to step out of the way, and somebody gonna catch whiff of it. It's gonna be some lawyer or some little brand new young lawyer that's going to school that actually likes this game, and he gonna catch whiff of it and say something ain't right. Something ain't right. I've been playing this game for like a year, and I'm not getting no better. Maybe I need to talk to Respawn and see what's going on, or find out if they got any hacks being given to the pro players. Why you think you don't see your boy? What's the little nerdy one with the glasses that everybody like? The one that's supposed to have the best aim ever. The best aim. What's his damn name? Look like my little cousin Alex from Oklahoma. Look like Spanish Jewish dude that stuff, wear glasses and talk like this, like, I don't know. Damn, I forgot his name. But see how irrelevant he is, because now everybody knows that he pretty much was cheating because y'all gave him the hacks to make him look great. And all companies probably doing that say, hey, here, take this hack and make our game look great. You know what I mean? And have God aim. Just anywhere you aim, you're gonna be dead on. And shit. I know that's what y'all did to half of these pros. And the shit just started leaking to it. I ain't saying knowing, but in my gut, I know that's what happened. And it just backfired on y'all ass. Because other people start getting it. And once you have that the actual game program where you can alter and change it, and I can show people how simple it is to alter those numbers in a program, because once the program is already listed in there, all you have to do is look at it and say, okay, which one is firing for this, and you know where the actual each gun is on which one is firing. If it shows a rate of, it'll say like 1 through 10, then you be like, damn, I don't want 1 through 10. And shit, let me change it for this magazine. I'm gonna make it 1 through 1,000 or 1 million. So that's infinity rounds. It would never stop shooting. All you doing is changing numbers within that software. So if you gave a basic, to assist some of these pros out, somebody went and got that same upload that's possible to be able to click and play and go into the same server, because y'all think it's all your pro players, and that's the reason why you wasn't able to kick people out and ban them as easy, because you know your pro players has it also, because y'all gave it to them to give them the edge over everybody else. It's shit, you gave them a whole separate copy that they can download, which is the beta, and they're still playing through it. I'm gonna call it the beta and shit, but it's a pro software that they get that's different than ours. So somebody got that from them and wasn't there to alter it even more, like godlike play. And I don't know if you played that what's that True Crimes game that they got out, Grand Theft Auto. They got that same stuff in there. All you gotta do is change the numbers. Like, I want infinite rounds. I want to be able to not die. And shit, you have to hit me at least 100 times before you can kill me. All you have to do is change the numbers in there. All you have to find out is what each one of them do. And they go in there, change the number, like, okay, let me click that and go try it. And see if it boots up. If it don't boot up, they just change the number back to what it used to be and boot up, and it works. That's all hacking is. It's just altering the numbers in there. And shit like that. And if it boots up, but y'all can't see that within y'all server, which I know is an algorithm written just like any other algorithm, like how the feds got, if they hear keywords like bomb or kill the president or something like within a phone call or something like that, it triggers something just like that. So I know y'all had it set up, but since you gave it to pro players and some of y'all developer friends to have like godlike, y'all can't stop the damn hacks. And that's why you never will. Because y'all want that godlike play. Developers, yourself, and the pro players. That's why it's not getting fixed and nobody's figuring it out. Call of Duty, they shut their shit down and they figured it out. Say, okay, let's rewrite the whole software. We're going to do an update. Everybody get in. Now we put a cheat lock on there. If you change anything within this program, it's not going to boot up anymore. You would have to re-download it and re-download it from the actual server, the company. You can't alter it. They have that cheat code, and that's what y'all supposed to be doing when you do the 0 to 100. Every time it's supposed to be checking that. But people are still getting past it because y'all have certain ones that can get past. The pro ones and the developer godlike play. And you know it. And you ain't gonna admit it. And stuff like that. Until y'all come out and admit it and say like, yeah, we fucked up. And we'll feel better. Because it'll shut all them pro players down and they have to start over because they're not really pro players. They're just part of the developer team now. They're not as great as everybody else. And now they're trying to expose themselves. Say, oh, see, we're not that good. We have to play like 100 times before we can get this, what you call it. Like, no, I played in some of these games with some of these pro players. I know when they changed it. And I actually got it on one of my streams. The dude say, see, all we had to do was change our name. I think it was Tfue, I think, too. Because he had just became like the biggest player out there at the time. And he was like the best player. And Tfue, and I could tell it was his voice, and he was telling another dude, and that it sounded like Shroud. That was his name, the godlike aim. And I could tell there was Shroud trying to change it for him. He like, oh, da-da-da. And he said, told you all we had to do was change our name, and we could come in here. And they come in like, oh, we gonna get you a win, Ruffin. Don't worry about it, Rock. We got you. We gonna get you a win. And these boys are playing like they couldn't miss and stuff, and got me a win easily, and said it plain day. You forgot I'm on the headset with you. I can hear you. Told you all we had to do is change the name, and nobody know who we are. Da-da-da. I told you. Da-da-da. And that's what they're doing. And shit, making new accounts just coming in. That's where that smurfing shit came from. Because they were doing it. And shit, because when they get in the game, and everybody knew it was them, everybody was going after them to shoot them because they're not that great. And shit. Without the cheats. And shit. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, y'all need to stop. Y'all set yourself up for failure. Why this game is getting worse and worse and not better. You can't just focus on skins and new weapons and new characters and new maps. You have to focus on pleasing the pros. Because you get people in here that practice it every day, say, okay, I ain't gonna get the cheat codes like the pros and shit like that, and a little edge on the game and play it like 2 months before everybody else play it. That's why, just look at it. You don't see a lot of pros playing this season right now. Because they're in the background, not streaming, but playing the new fucking maps right now. And they barely come. Like Lulu used to come in every day playing this damn game. But Lulu only come in or play for 10, 15 minutes and she shut her shit down. She gone. And then she used to come on live all the time. But right now, since y'all got the new map, y'all think everybody's stupid. But ain't nobody stupid, man. I observe a lot of shit, and I'm real. Since I'm tired of this shit, I pick up a lot of shit easily, man. Just best way to say it. I don't know why my vocabulary is just fucked off today, so I've been cussing a lot today. This shit because I can't find any words, and that's mostly because I ain't take my little gummy, my weed gummies, because I got what you call it, PTSD real bad, but you can't tell this shit because I take my little gummies, get my rest, and it calm me down and shit like that. But I ain't like you little goofy dude cracking the screens and shit like that. That's one of y'all pro players. He's pro just because he gets angry at the game. That shit, it's just a game, man. It's just a game and shit, but I'm just tired of playing it. It's not, you're not fixing anything. You know what I mean? You're not making it better. It's like you're making it worse. And shit. And it's like right at the beginning of this season when y'all first dropped this Halloween shit, before you just dropped this Shadow shit with just the Halloween outfits, a lot of people had said like, yeah, man, my recoil is like off. I don't know what the hell it is. But that was the ADS y'all started trying to tweak. But you won't put that in the notes and say ADS is fucked off. Because you know you're going to have a lot of players you're going to lose and say, you know what, I'm not playing this shit no more. If you just took the ADS away and I cannot hone in after 10 seasons of playing this way and then after 10 seasons, you just take it away. It's a ADS. Now you got to learn how to play with a mouse and keyboard, or go jump on the console. We're gonna give ADS to console players, but if you play a PC player, we're gonna make your shit go straight up in the air. And shit, and that's what my shit been doing. And I can reload this shit over and over, and I'm gonna set up my camera, cause right now I got my cameras all running through a switcher, so I'm gonna change it where I can separate my cameras, cause I got 3 different streamer input things, like what you call them damn things, them cards, stream cards. I got 3 different stream cards, so I can put up 3 different cameras. I'm gonna have one going to my controller, and I'm gonna show you while I'm pulling it down, like on the switcher, like R99, pulling it down while I'm shooting for the recoil, and then let go to make it come back to the center, knowing I'm coming to the center, and that thing would just take off like that. It just goes straight up in the air. Like, dude, really? How the hell you gonna go straight up in there? But then the next time you play it, it'll just stay locked in. It's like inconsistent, and y'all doing it perfect. Say, we're gonna do it, just fuck with him and piss him off, then make them all go to mouse and keyboard. You can't do that. It's shit like even back in the days when Unreal was out. It's shit like that. Unreal, we was using the mouse and keyboard, but they had certain controllers that you could plug up and using it, and made it easier to play. And shit. And nobody complained about Unreal. Nobody complained about what's the one with the H? The one that really kind of started it. Hologram. What the hell was the name of that damn game? I can't even think of it now. Yeah, shit. It was that. Then you had Gears of War. You had SOCOM that came out on PSP, and they was a real, to me, that really changed the game of multiplayer was SOCOM on the PSP. And it was on the internet. Yeah, shit at that time. And that was all wireless from the PSP. What is the name of that game, man? Halo. That Halo game. And shit. And that was from the console, and then it kind of made its way to PC, but most people took their controllers and did it. I don't know, it probably came out on PC at the same time it was on console, but I think Xboxes and PlayStations was so big back then, everybody was playing on the console. But more than a PC, because I don't think they really had any great graphics cards back then. They really didn't have the big CPUs out at that time that they was selling to common folks, say it like that. Because I think we still on Pentium 5s and Pentium 3s and Pentium whatever. But back then, if you was a gamer, we knew to build server computers. That's what I had. I had multiple processors. I had like 4 processors in there and shit. And then Mac came out with their shit, and it started doing multiple shit. But Windows had their multiple processors pretty much back in the days with servers. And I was using that a lot for gaming with Unreal, and that's when I really got into. And then you could tweak your graphics so crazy with the Unreal Engine. Now, the Unreal Engine is only accessible by the developer or the writer of the game. Well, back in the days, the reason why Unreal was so great is because you could go in there and tweak the shit out of your graphics and push it to the limits to what was going to be used. I'm talking about you could use the memory to push it over here for that, allocate it over here, or you could allocate the CPU for this, GPU for that, and you could have your damn graphics looking so glossy like it was real, like you could touch it. But now y'all take control of it, and you don't give the common PC gamers the advantage like we want to have by having a PC. Give us the access to the Unreal settings. That's what Unreal was known for. They wasn't really known for the game itself, because the first game came out wasn't even multiplayer. It was like a little campaign game where she was locked in a damn jail cell, and you had to escape from that jail cell and go through and shoot the people. It was almost made like Doom. And shit, that's what I'm trying to tell you how far it go back in the game and shit that y'all don't even know. Nobody really even played the real Unreal. Y'all only played the Unreal tournament. But Unreal was actually a campaign game and known for its graphics. And shit, so that's how young and stupid that y'all focus on these dummies that just play the game every day, but it's a lot more deeper into how games evolve. But it evolved into almost like mumble rap now. You know what I mean? Like music is not music anymore. It's just the most shit you could throw in it and shit, and because that's the way y'all brain works. Y'all so sporadic and all over the place. Y'all never gonna be consistent to be great at one thing. Y'all want to be great at it all. Cause y'all YOLO. You only live once, so we might as well try it all. And shit, like, but the way the world revolves is like balance. Y'all can't balance stuff out. That's how religion is. But that's why y'all put this demon gay guy in. I ain't gonna say what they call them fags or whatever like that is in the street when they don't like who they are and stuff. But I guess I don't know. It's just, I thought fag, gay, lesbian, or whatever. Any one of those words is describing a person that likes the same sex and stuff. Just like y'all say black, negro, nigga, that all describes to other people as black people and stuff. So that's why we took the word nigga away and said, yeah, why they can't do that and take the fag word and make it their word. Hey, what's going on, fag? You know what I mean? Like we did. We took the nigga word and made it our word. So it had no power no more. But now, if you say fag, you can get sued, shut down, blackballed. That is crazy how the game is working now. And that's even on the women's side. If you say, oh, yeah, you look nice today, that's sexual harassment. But how many times has a woman told a man, you look nice today, I like your outfit. Hey, I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable. You telling me I look good and stuff. I feel like you looking me up and down. You sexing me with your eyes. Where did that come from? If somebody didn't physically touch somebody or do something with them, that's not harassment. That's not sexual harassment. It's backwards. But no man has actually stood up and went to his boss, and even if he tried, he go in there, man, I don't like the way she talking to me, and I feel uncomfortable around her. Well, what she say? She say, I look good today, man. And like, I like your outfit, man. They fit you good, I feel like she sexing me with her eyes. Like, what does that mean, dude? Like, what are you talking about? Really, dude? You coming in here with that? So if a woman coming in and say the same thing, like he kept saying, he like, well, the way my pants fit and stuff like that, and it looks good on you today, and stuff, I like the way them pants fit, and I like the way your shirt fit, So I think you looking at my titties because my shirt is tight, Well, I think she looking at my dick because my pants are tight. But you say that, they gonna laugh at you. You see how it's not equal? Nothing balancing out now? The balance is all off in this world because you're trying to give equality, but don't understand equality. Equality means if you pull something like this, it shouldn't go one way or the other. It should just stand still. It should just work. It should just spin perfectly in the center. It shouldn't wobble. But that's what our world is doing now. It's wobbly. It's offsided. Whichever has the power at the time. Because they always say, oh, equality for like blacks. I'm black myself. As you can see. Shit. Let me put the camera back on. Oh, you can see I'm black myself. But they talking about my words is all what's the word for equality for blacks back then is, damn it, I can't think. I had some people up there talking and shit and typing and shit in, and shit and helping me out. But it was something that passed after Martin Luther King, but can't think. But since that was passed, they would say, yeah, y'all got that, what you call it, passed, and and I don't think that shit right. I think it should be by your performance and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we understand that, but do you understand how many blacks you actually have working there? You have 20 whites and 2 blacks. That's what they trying to balance out, is saying, okay, 10-10 and shit, but you can't do 10-10. And damn, civil rights, the civil rights movement and shit, when that was passed and put out there, they was talking about civil rights, and then they say, okay, we gotta give more jobs to black people, and we gotta give more jobs to women, or more jobs to, I'm just throwing it out there, saying that's what civil rights pretty much supposed to balance things out, but it never did. It still gets in there, and they say, you don't fit the qualifications, or it is. But I tell you, when I got out the military, did my 8 years, almost 9 years out of the military, got out, and went home, went to unemployment, which you used to could go to unemployment and fill out an application and say, this is the type job I'm looking for, and they would actually put you in the computer, and they would go look through the computer and say, okay, we want him because he fits all the requirements. He has this kind of training and all that. So I got a call to go work at General Electric, GE, to wire up switchboards and shit like that, and actually install them and do all that stuff to big commercial buildings and industrial buildings. I got that job. But at the same time, I got that job with another fellow veteran, which was a tanker, which I worked on his vehicles, the electrical side of his vehicle, the turret had all the computers and all that stuff in. He just drove the tank. When he wrote up his application, when he went to the little class to fill out his resume, they told him, right, well, you really don't have nothing, but you was around the tank, so you know how most of the stuff worked, right? So we're going to give you the turret mechanic resume, and you just fill out your resume like that. So he turned in his resume, and I was like, dude, how'd you get this job? You just a tanker. What kind of other training you got? He's like, no, we use the turret mechanic resume. That's what they told me to do, and wrote it. So you got this job by lying and saying you was a turret mechanic. So he got in there. White guy, Irish guy, cool as hell. Still my homeboy to this day. He got the job up there. This dude didn't know his job. They knew he didn't know his job because he sat at his table every day and picked his nails and didn't work and was getting paid just like everybody else coming in. Back then, that was 98 when I got that job. So it was like $12 an hour or something like that. It was good money, but at that time, it's because I think minimum wage was like $3 or $5 or something. I can't remember. But had that $12, and I got up all the way to like almost $30 at the time, but then they did a mass layoff and shut that company down because they was sending jobs to Mexico and sending Spanish people over there to train them to do half our jobs. And they said, well, now we only teaching them the small jobs, right? They can never learn how to do our job. I said, well, how did you learn to do the job? I said, did you know what you was doing when you first got here? And they were like, no, it just after years I got better and learned all the big jobs. I was like, exactly. So you don't think Mexican people do that? You think they're stupid just because you don't teach them, they're not gonna learn how to do the other jobs? They're like, nah, it ain't gonna work like that because it's cheaper to send to work in Mexico. So that's what GE did. They sent all their jobs to Mexico and laid all of us off. It was only 300 some people in that plant. Laid us all off. But go back to the white guy that didn't know his job. He worked there the whole time I worked there for 4 years straight. And shit, I went up in class and got to class 10. He was still a class 2 or a class 4. I think he might have got to class 4. He had to bid on jobs. But I beat out a lot of senior guys because as long as you score 100, seniority doesn't prevail unless they make 100 on test. So nobody else scored 100 on test. That's what I'm trying to tell you, how the type of person my mentality is and shit. So this how I'm not feeding you any bull when I talk about some of this shit in the game where I know what's going on, because I can read the environment. I can read what's going on in the world. But a lot of things y'all just believe what you told. So if I told you this is truthful and my name was Donald Trump and you liked me as Donald Trump or liked me as Rock, you're gonna believe it and you're gonna stick with it. Just because I'm a person above you and stuff. And this is the way our society works now. If it's a person of power or the news or social media or somebody of that's up there and they say this is what's happening and this is what you need to do, everybody follows it now. That's the big thing now. Follow me, or like me, or you click this and say you like. You get what I mean? That's the whole world. We follow trends and shit like that, but nobody knows how to think for themselves. I know how to think for myself, so why are you saying the same thing somebody else just said? And I know you wasn't saying that the day before. So are you really thinking for yourself, or are you really just thinking what they want you to think? This is what's wrong with our world. Nobody sits there. I done the research. No, you done the research that they gave you, but does it feel right? Does it sound right? Does it taste right? Does it look right? You get what I mean? So if it doesn't look right to you, say, I don't know. If they told me that's right, I'm just going with it. I'm going with it. That's what everybody is now. They just go with the flow. Stop going with the flow. You're never going to be successful. Never going to have shit out of life. You just going to be exactly where they want you to be. In the back of the bus. That's what black people used to be, right? So right now, how does it feel in society to be a nigga? Because that's what all of us are now. We are niggas to corporate America. We are niggas to the government. And always have been. Ever since they wrote the Constitution. The people has always been the niggas. There is no more slaves after that. You get what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna say it was no more black slaves. We all became slaves to our government, to our corporations. You get what I'm saying? This is the way the world was set up. The Constitution was to set up is to have you follow whatever they told you was right. And shit, until y'all start thinking for yourself, I ain't gonna say thinking, start saying, does this feel right? Is it working? Does it look right? Does it taste right? Till we start saying that and start looking at it really from the outside in instead of from the inside out. Because if you steady looking from the inside out, then you can only go be able to see what they want you to see. But if you start looking from the outside, like what they call it, epiphany or something like that, or out of body experience, if you get out of your body, you look like, what the fuck is going on? I ain't even know all that was going on. And shit, but in your body, you can only see what's in front of you, what they put in front of you. So you gotta start having these out of body experiences, start experiencing life, looking at life totally different. This is when you're gonna start evolving and being better, a better self. And shit, so this is what's wrong with our world. We are like controlled rats. We are, what you call it, a program. Not a program, but, what's that test that they do? Y'all know my wordplay is all fucked up today. And shit, but that's what I'm trying. We're an experiment. They just test. Like, they've been testing us with COVID since before COVID actually existed. By what they put in front of us, by the time they put it in front of us. But if you actually look up the actual patent and the actual day that COVID existed, it existed way before China and us. It was already put in the experiment. And matter of fact, Trump even said it when he was up there. And one of the people tried to tell him to shut up when he said it, like, oh, this experiment that we're trying to be like, hey, wait, don't say experiment. Fuck, no, you're using the wrong word. You know what I mean? Go back and listen to that shit. Y'all be like, what the fuck he did say experiment? It's all an experiment, man. And he telling you it's a hoax because he's not in office no more. Because they thought he was going to say, oh, Trump, just play along with it, man, and we'll keep you in office. And since they promised him all that, that's why he's so pissed, because so many politicians and public figures had promised him that he was going to get the other one if he just hushed his mouth and played the role and play along with us and shit. But since he did, and kind of stumbled a couple of times, they like, man, this is an idiot. We got to get rid of this fool because he going to fuck up a lot of shit with how we do our experiments. And shit, that's all we are. We're test rats and shit. We're test monkeys, test dogs. So y'all talking about, man, it's wrong how you treating dogs. It's wrong how y'all treating rats and stuff like that. And the foxes and all that shit. Like, nigga, they do way more worse shit with us than they do with a fucking, at least the goddamn rat and the monkey know what's coming next. They know they getting the fucking a needle to them and getting tested, and they ain't never getting out of that cage. They know they stuck there. Our dumbasses have been in the cage for a long time, and they're thinking that it's okay. And shit like that. Because they tell you that it's okay. They program us in that lane to stay focused on what's not important. But I'm going to stop eating y'all up with conspiracies, since that ain't even a word no more. But remember 10, 15 years ago, before Trump got in office, that conspiracy was something nobody talk. I don't fuck with that, man. That's conspiracy. Now I don't listen to that shit. Now everybody named Mama don't even think a conspiracy exists. They think it's true or not true. So conspiracy is not even a word anymore. You get what I'm saying? It's not a word. It's not something that everybody uses in their vocabulary when you hear something that hasn't been programmed into you or hasn't been forced in you to hear and know about. You get what I mean? If it ain't been forced down you by the news or social media and shit like that, that's a conspiracy. That's how it was back in the day. All right, buddy, that's conspiracy. And I don't believe in Illuminati. I don't believe in the Swedish banks and Rockefeller. I don't believe in none of that stuff. Now Trump got in office and shit like, man, well, shit, maybe half of that shit is true. Maybe they are a piece of Domino pizza and eating babies and shit like that. It gotta be true. And shit, cause they told you in the media and the news that some of this shit was going on. But if you look deeper way back there, but Google is so good. Google is so good at this shit now. You could Google this stuff 5 years ago, and it'll be a whole separate definition of something 5 years ago than it is today. Because Google is so great that now you can rewrite your own definition or who you are. You can rewrite your personality or where you been or your accomplishments. You can take all those accomplishments out 5 years ago, unless you know what you're doing and know how to dig deeper into a server. You can find all that shit because the shit don't go nowhere, but Google rewrites it so when you search, you can't find it. Because when COVID first came out, you used to can find that it was a patent pulled on COVID way before this shit existed. They showed the years on it. But now go try to Google and find a patent, and you find out the patent was just last year ago. And then you find out that Bill Gates was actually the person that was actually patenting the vaccine. But now you won't be able to find that on Google because they rewrote it. Because they paid good money to rewrite how they want the research to be for COVID-19. And shit, but if you was way at the beginning of the game, matter of fact, I think I even have it saved in some of my stuff too, in some of my pictures, because some of my friends were taking pictures of it and say, man, you see this shit where Bill Gates pulled the patent on this shit? In 2016 or 2017 or some shit like that. It was way back there, probably even further than that. And like, look, this is the patent on it. It actually had the patent from the U.S. and shit that he pulled. No, I don't even think it was U.S. I think it was overseas. It was European that he pulled it in. It was somewhere. I can't remember. Germany or whatever that he pulled the patent. It was a European patent or American patent. Can't remember. But he had already pulled the patent on COVID-19 before COVID even existed. And shit. But since you got money, you can rewrite your Google search. And nobody will ever see it unless they dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you'll find it. And shit. But I'm not going to tell you how to do that. And shit, because then if you start digging, you're like, man, this shit is inconsistent. So that's why a lot of people tell you, like, oh, so Google told you that, nigga, so you believe what Google put in there? It's just like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is written by basic people. And shit, it's not computer generated. It's not actual facts. It's not an encyclopedia. It's not an atlas or anything. Maybe I'm saying, is it an atlas? Not an atlas. What's that book where it keeps current events? I'm telling y'all, man, I'm getting dumber and dumber as I get older. 50, but almanac. Almanac where it keeps like current events in in order, pretty much. See, I used to know this shit, but y'all get what I'm saying. None of that shit is. Wikipedia is just some information, because Wikipedia can change. It could have information on somebody this day and then it change tomorrow because they be proven and say that wasn't true, so we have to take this out and put this in. You get what I mean? So that's what Wikipedia, this is what we rely on now. Is whatever they put in front of us. And shit like that. But none of this has been written like an almanac anymore. And I don't even think y'all think that's a word and shit. Like, nigga, what's an almanac? Shit. Yes, I don't think y'all taught that in school anymore. And shit, I don't even think they sell those anymore. But we used to have people that came by our house and sold us encyclopedias and shit with almanacs and shit. Almanac. Probably, they got a farmer's almanac, and now they just have basic almanacs. Look at that. You got old farmer's almanac for weather and gardening and full moon best. Then you got winter and weather forecasts and old farmers. See, now it's only used in farming. But almanacs was actually used back in the days, and I'm looking at a Google search, and I'm showing you. And shit, but let's see what almanac this is. It's an annual publication that containing a calendar for the coming year, the times of such events and phenomena and anniversaries, and then they also put sunrises and the farming shit. But it was mostly of our current events, of things that happened within a year. You get what I mean? But now we don't have almanacs. But that was written as it was happening. If something happened today, it was supposed to be published and put into an almanac for that year of, like, from 2020 to 2021. And you're supposed to be able to put all those events in. Like if somebody had if it was a storm here, if it was a wreck here, or a president got sick, or it's just an almanac of big things that happened within our history. It's almost like your Bible. Because that's what the Bible was. It was somebody writing the current events that happened back then with Jesus and Moses and everything and stuff. So that's what we had back in the days in the 80s and the 70s. But now you probably can't even find an almanac. Let me see. I'm gonna look up Britannia. Forgot how to see Britannia, Nika, whatever the old encyclopedia company was. Calendar, the days and weeks and months of the year, record of various astronomical phenomena. So yeah, even astronomical. They would talk about how the moon. They would show the different times, full moon and all that stuff. And let's see, the position of the planets, high and low tides. You can keep up with the weather on your own. The first printed almanac appeared in Europe in 1457, but almanacs have existed in some form since the beginning of astronomy. Ancient Egyptian and Greek calendars show the festival days and days thought to be lucky. These in modern almanacs medieval. Almanacs begin to gain real prominence in the developing a printer, German astronomer and stuff. So they just showing that it's mostly about astronomy on almanac. That's what it was made for, but the encyclopedia company made it even bigger where it actually had current events in it and stuff, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. So the modern day almanacs are several types. The traditional type survives in the old farmer's almanac. That's the only one that's survived so far now. They pretty much don't make almanacs so far. They make Wikipedia and Google search. They have the ultimate control of the information of what happened today. And the media does. They can tell you how they want you to remember it. You ever watch the news and they say, oh yeah, we had 3 people shot and 2 died, or 1, what you call it? Did they come back later? 1 died, and you be like, dude, I thought they said 2 died or whatever, 1 injured. Or it was a black guy that shot this dude, and they say, well, no, the black guy got shot. And the white guy shot him, and it changed as it goes. So you can believe it by the first time they told you, like, damn, man, black dude just shot somebody, man. That's crazy. But they be like, oh, no, the black guy got shot, and he died. And shit or whatever. Like, damn. They're like, that's crazy. And you not that interested in it no more because your first time you heard it, you thought it was this. And then they tell you again, like, oh, man, they can't make my mind up, so why should I even listen to it? That's what smart people do. Smart people do say, why do I even listen to this politic bullshit? Because they say one thing one day and they do the other the next day. You get what I'm saying? So that's the shit you shouldn't trust. It should, unless it's happening like a current event. And shit, if it's happening like a current event and shit, and Rondo, what was you doing way up there jumping down? Did I wake you up talking too much? And shit, a current event, and they write it as it happens and say this is exactly what happened and shit. They wrote it down and move on to the next day. And nobody goes on the news and say, this is what happened today. Da da da. We are Almanac News. But that ain't how it worked. That was the only way we could keep up with information that happened in the past. News wasn't that relevant. It was mostly about weather, and it wasn't that ugly. It wasn't on just crimes and what you call it. Now that's all we look at the news for something horrible to happen. And that's crazy, ain't it? And shit. And that y'all didn't even know what the almanac is, and I know you didn't. And start doing research on that day. You be like, yeah, why did they take that away from us? Because they wanted the ultimate control to manipulate what they want you to believe. And you go keep doing it. And keep playing in that lane of these programmers. And I got way off the witchcraft because that's the way these programmers and developers are right now. Is making it seem like we're the problem. And really, they need to just get out of the way and make the game and sell it. If it don't sell, remake another one and resell the next one. And shit, stop trying to fix something that we get used to all the time. I'm gonna shut my computer off so people can stop mining off of it and making money off of my 1 gig fiber optics coming up to my house and shit. Yeah, Honeycomb, I know you doing it because I actually deleted you off my computer, but I see you still working in the background on my shit. I already looked at it, but I let you live. But if I could come back here and print it out and have, and if they had an actual court system that I can show that you're stealing from us, and just like I know Respawn been stealing off of us as actual hosts for half of these games. And shit, and this is the reason why the game is kind of fucked up also, why the server is kind of shitty, because you actually have like if you jump into games, if you knew what FTPs were back in the days, they use a lot of the actual gamers as hosts without actually telling them they're hosts. You know what I mean? Like, you get in the game, but they use a little bit of your actual, your internet to actually make their server stronger. And shit, this is what they've been doing for a while. That shit, it's called hosting, and what's the other one? You could be a client too. I can't remember pretty much how actual servers benefit off of using hosts on top of their server. So the server is not actually physically doing all the work without you getting paid at the same time. But we're not getting paid for it. But and the reason why the actual game got sucky at the end, because a lot of people stopped playing it that they was using as hosts. They was using a lot of people without them knowing as hosts off of their internet to play the game, to have the server and the game work better online. So every time you log in, you don't even know if you're becoming a host or a client or whatever, and they're using your internet service. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing that legally that we got to start standing up for and get with the politicians and say some of these companies that provide these gaming services should start paying or benefiting them that actually they're using without their knowledge, because that's illegal to use them as a host. Would be using them as a host to the game. But you some of y'all know what I'm talking about, because you actually probably seen it when you go like to Twitch and become big and affiliated, and you become like a host to a what you call it. But that host mean they actually using your server, your internet, to actually have everybody come to, but they call it hosting a party and stuff. It's a lot of little bullshit going on behind closed doors that y'all don't even know, that y'all need to start digging in and start questioning. And then a lot of these social media sites and companies would start trying to recoup us the right way. But right now they living like fat rats, and we're providing a lot of shit for them to exist and shit, and they making billions, and you're getting a fraction of a penny off of it. And sometimes they won't even give you a fraction of a penny. Like right now, you gotta wait to get affiliate. But guess what? You're a content creator. You know, most television shows, most people that create that content that we watch every day, they will not put that shit on TV until they know how much they're gonna get paid from each one of those sponsors, which is commercials and shit like that. So those sponsors say, yeah, we'll give you this much and we'll give you that much. So that broadcasting station won't even let you in until you can afford, till they get money off of these sponsors and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's where the money comes from. So from the beginning, Facebook is already sponsored by half of the people. They getting paid by all your content when you're not getting anything until they say, you know what? We're going to start paying you after 10,000 views or 1,000 views or 100,000 views. And we'd have made enough money off of you after 10,000. Now we're going to give you some money every time you create some content now. Now we're going to give you a fraction of it. Not all of it. But guess what? You're the only one that creating the content. CBS don't go over there and say, you know what, pretty much we're CBS and we're providing you the location. We're only going to give you a fraction of the penny every time your television show airs at 9 o'clock. That wouldn't even be possible, because if you notice how rich most of these actors are that play these parts in or whatever that shit is, these people getting good money. Even the labels. Let's go to the radio station. Just like all these artists that I press the button for, and I keep telling they dumb asses. I'm not going to call them dumb, but you got to be really, really dumb if you don't study the part that gets you paid. And I've been telling them, I don't have no part of that. All I do is record and make some production and shit like that. But I get angry that I don't even sell my music to nobody no more, because I'm so upset that it doesn't go anywhere, because they don't know what to do with it. They don't understand that you can't get on the radio by paying the radio station saying, hey man, play my music. How much I got paid? We don't work like that. They were like, how you work? Like, we only work on commercials. So they try to tell them in basic terms, saying that you have to have sponsors or pay them to play your commercial. Like, that's the best way to get on the radio. If you commercialize your song and make a commercial for your song, or the release of your album and have your music playing in the background, that's the only way you're going to kind of get your song first in the rotation, in the background playing because they cannot deny you a commercial position on the radio. They cannot deny you, because that's how the radio station lives. Is by, if you go up there and pay the regular fee that they pay for each commercial ad or position in that area on the radio, you pay $3,500 or however much it costs to play for a commercial to be advertised on 97.9 and stuff. They cannot deny you that. They can deny you how many times you're getting paid on there by how much you pay. But if you pay a lot of money, like most labels do, they have an actual allocation of so much money being allocated to them every month or every quarter from each one of these major labels. So all their music and commercials are going to be in rotation, because they pay for the advertising. You get what I'm saying? So once you pay for the sponsoring of this station, they going to keep you in rotation. This is what you got to understand. So if your budget is not big enough to pay for these commercials to stay in rotation and be commercialized over and over, you're not going to be big on the radio. And the same thing with social media. Once you get sponsored for half of these people and get enough viewers on it, that's how they work. But that's the way radio work. But now they work in saying you just got to get 1,000 views or 100,000 people to view it. Then we'll give you monetization. Then we'll give you sponsoring. Then we'll give you affiliation. That's a crock. That's a scam. They making a killing off of you every time you post hello on that mug. Every time you post hello on Facebook or say, what's up world? Or every time we put a video on there. That's a scam. And I'm just here to expose half of it. You know what I mean? I'm just here to talk about what's really going on instead of what they want you to know. Oh, but all I gotta do is this, and all I gotta get people to do is buy my beans and do this and do that and subscribe to me, and they're gonna give me $50. But it probably cost you $150 to do all what you did. So you made $50 or $20 off of what you spent into the game. I'm not into that business. I'm into the business of spending less and making, like if I had this cap right here, this bottle cap, I got it for pretty much next to nothing because I bought the water for so much a case of it. So now if I can make this cap a necessity and make $5 off of this cap, which only cost me a fraction of something, I'm profiting. I'm making money now. Except, but I'm not gonna go buy this cap for the same price that I'm gonna try to sell it for. If I bought this cap for $5 and then sell it to you for $5, like that's retarded. That's like, you have to be the slowest person. Even if you was a drug dealer, you're not gonna buy dope. You're not gonna buy a pound of weed and say, or let me buy this for $5. Let me take it back. Buy this for $5 and then give it to you for free and tell me what you think. Tell me if you like it. Hit the like button if you like it. Or subscribe to my channel and view me if you like it. But I paid $5 for it. I'm gonna keep paying for this and keep putting it up there, and hopefully one day you like it and want to pay me for it. So that's the same thing as drugs. Like I tell people, like if you go buy drugs for $3.50 and you say, let me roll up some joints and then go hand them out and say, tell me what you think. Tell me if you like my weed. And he'd be like, he smoke your weed, and you be like, dang, yeah, it's okay, man. Can I get another one? I'll let you know. When you gonna have some more weed? Oh, tomorrow I'm gonna roll some more weed and I'm gonna hand it out again. Or I'm gonna post it on the site again, and you tell me if you like my weed when I roll it up, and tell me if you like it. No, drug dealers buy weed to sell it. You don't buy weed to give it away and hopefully somebody like it or start following you. You don't spend money to not make money or make a profit. So that's why most drug dealers are like the best, the best hustlers that end up having a big success in corporations or business after they started in drug dealing, because drugs kind of sell themselves. Because addiction is a hard thing. So so as long as you have the product that's in need, it's gonna sell. And shit like that. That's the same thing in music. That's the same thing in what we're doing in this gaming and streaming and shit like that. If you have what that person needs and stuff, they're gonna pay for it. And stuff, they're gonna pay for it. But if you don't make it accessible easily, and stuff, that's the real game. And stuff like this streaming part, I just do it because I like talking shit. You know what I mean? And I do it to learn more stuff about the streaming world and learn what's going on. It said, little Lily Red Wolf. What's going on, Lily Red Wolf? Y'all think I can't see y'all coming in and out, but I see y'all coming in and out. I actually have an app that shows me when y'all join and unjoin. It's just so I can see y'all in there and stuff. Even though you're not commenting, I know when you're in my, not the little user thing, but have another separate app that actually shows when you join and when you part out of it. Even though Twitch won't actually give me the amount of people that's actually viewing my stuff, it still only shows that's one viewer, but they won't give me the whole full view because they don't want me to get affiliated, and because I'm steadily exposing how they scamming everybody and stuff like that, and they don't pay enough and shit. I remember making an album back then, and we pressed it up. Actually, it was cassettes, and you had to go to a record. The hip hop way was put it on cassette and sell the cassette players and stuff like that out your trunk. Then it moved up to CDs and shit like that. So everybody started getting CD duplicated and CD press, which I got a CD press back there, a duplicator, and I can print on the CDs and all that stuff. And we can make our own money off our CD. And I remember we was getting all of our money. You know what I mean? But everything that changed now is stuff that you have to wait till you get so many streams before you can start getting paid. That's what Kanye West and a lot of people was knocking at him down, talking about why you go to Trump. Because Trump was a businessman and he thought he would listen and say, you know what? The artists are getting screwed with these streaming services. They are making crazy money off of each what you call a subscription they getting, and they getting a fraction of a penny for each time they stream it. When we used to get paid certain amount of royalties or a certain amount of points for each album. That's artists. But producers, which are different, we get 50 and 50 on the publishing side, so it's totally different. It's like saying if you get $10, the artist that sings, he supposed to get $5 and I get $5. The musicians do and shit. So it was more money to be made that way when you actually made an album sale. But since everything streams now, they took the power away from the artists, and now the labels get all the money because they get the sponsoring and the commercial. Pretty much we just say the commercializer. They get all the money up front, and then they just paying us a fraction of whatever you're worth. So that's why I took a lot of independents. I ain't gonna say indie because a lot of people think indie is India rappers or artists, like India or indie or whatever, but it's short for independent. And a lot of artists don't even know that. That's how crazy it is that they out here in this game and don't even know that indie stands for independent and shit. But they'd rather have a label eat off of them, and then when they actually get kicked off the label, all the stuff that they thought they owned, only thing they really owned was that advancement that they got up front. That 150,000. So if you get another advancement on another album, you own that. And then you own shows too if you look at the contract the right way. It depends on the label. They let you get paid off of all the performances, but really you're not paid for the whole concert. They make it seem like, oh, you get 10,000 or 100,000 off of it, but they got crazy money off all the sponsors and people they had connected to the whole show and shit. So it's a lot of things going on in the world that people don't understand in corporate America. It's a lot of money to be made if you start standing up to the game. But nobody gonna stand up to it. Like, man, I'm decent, I'm happy, I'm not greedy and stuff. But so you a little corporation be greedy on you, but you're not greedy, and you go keep just taking it every day and shit like that, just like the government every day. Go keep taking it and stuff. But I'm not greedy. But I like Trump. I like them, because they know business. That boy rich and stuff. But I thought the ultimate goal was for us to be rich and successful or perfect in life. So why we gotta have one person that's perfect or one entity that's perfect and say, I'm just gonna listen to him? God made us all in the image of him and stuff. But as long as they keep that image away from you and keep you thinking a different way, that you always gonna be a servant and shit like that, which is in the Bible. You're supposed to have servants also, but you gotta, what's the saying? You gotta learn to follow before you can lead. So how long you gonna follow? How long you gonna follow before you want to step up and lead? Or is that possible? Or are you always supposed to be a follower? See, I don't know. Maybe I'm confused of the writings or the understandings that we've been taught. So if we're taught that to say you got to follow before you can lead, so if you've been following for a long time, sometimes you got to step out of that lane of following and say it's time to lead. It's time to, let's say, not follow trends and be a trendsetter and stuff. You got to start setting your own trends and stuff. So stop looking at everybody else that already have a trend and say, you know what, I'm gonna do this TikTok video because this is the new trend. Everybody dancing to this, and I'm gonna be famous. No, that first one that did that dance is always gonna be more famous, just like the Migos. That's why the Migos are still relevant, because they were the first real mumble rappers other than Soulja Boy. Now you got millions of mumble raps because of this generation are a bunch of followers, and they gonna keep following it, so it's gonna never die off because they keep sitting there following the Migos, and they gonna always stay relevant. But soon as something else evolved past them and say, you know what, I'm gonna stop following, it's time for me to lead now. Somebody gonna step out of the norm, and then you gonna have a whole bunch of followers follow that leader too, and they gonna sit there for a while. And hopefully this next generation is smarter to not be a trend follower and start being trendsetters. And shit, until you start being trendsetters, we gonna be stuck in a loop for a long time with COVID and everything else in society that's starting to exist because they got the ultimate control over you. You have to step outside of the box, the outer body experience. I'm finished because I came all the way back to where I started and stuff, and I'm just trying to help everybody evolve so we can bring back balance to us, man. Really, ain't no balance though. I don't even care if you're racist against blacks or racist against whites, but at least we had some balance going on. Now it's unbalanced. It's just like one-sided. It's just like it's just like it's like one of the planes or a bird that can't fly because he only got one wing. It's just one-sided as hell right now. Until we can balance it out, you could be that little evil, ugly person. He could be that good old person. But long as there's some balance there, we'll get back to where we used to be. And so, but I'm good because I balance my environment. I cut a lot of things off. I cut people out of my environment if I feel like it's out of balance. I don't disown them. I just know how to balance my reaction or my interaction with them. So I balance how much I deal with that type of environment or that type of situation. Say it like that. I balance how much I deal with it and stuff. And if you figure that out, man, I'm telling you, whatever you want to call it, blessings or success or luck start coming your way, because balance makes everything be put in the right place for you and stuff. But it's so much unbalance out there right now that we're stuck. Maybe I need to stop eating these gummies too, though. I don't know who Lana Ray is, but Lana Ray, thank you for coming in there. Even though I still only got one viewer. Lana Ray, Little Red Wolf, Metaviews, and Rock Sexy. I see ya. But I'm going, y'all.